YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube, and I call this chapstick. This is cake batter centered. It is not centered, scented and flavored. That's part of the reason why I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube, because I just be saying stuff and then I'll be like, what? I don't even know what I be saying half the time, maybe about a quarter of the time. But anyway, the crazy part is just enjoying your channel, enjoying the videos you do, and if you don't do videos, enjoying the channels that you watch. The troll part is not caring too much. I have a Haus in my mouth. Excuse me. I'm so rude. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community's standards. Like, you set the standard for yourself when you're watching videos. Excuse me. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or a certain technique. Like, use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. And this primer is done. Know that you are amazing the way you are. Accept your natural features. Enhance them if you want to, when you want to, but never feel like you have to, because you are amazing the way you are. Wear what you want to wear and just rock it, and know that you are the bomb in it. That's what we stand for here at the Crazy Troll Nation, is self-acceptance and self-love. And I know I said my intro all sorts of backwards because I'm trying to keep this hauls in one place while I'm talking, and I'm trying to scrape out this eyeshadow primer. So anyway, if you're new here, thank you for visiting me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to browse around, look at my playlist, other videos. I have a lot of playlists for a lot of things, and so if you're looking for something in particular, it is real easy for you to find it. Thank you for being here. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I need to let you know I do curse on my channel sometimes, because I curse, period, sometimes. So I always feel the need to say that, because I know it's offensive to some people, and I know some people really just don't care. But I do feel obligated to let you know. If you are returning to my channel, thank you. Y'all be rolling with me, and I know I be doing some wacky stuff and saying some weird things sometimes, and y'all are here for it, and I appreciate you for that. So this video, you see from the title, we are going back in time, y'all, with Natasha Denona Lila palette. This is a fresh one. The other one I had did turn after a couple years. Her PAO is usually 24 months for her palette, and I had it and I used it. And so these looks, this will be look number 8 with this palette, and it will be in a playlist. As I mentioned earlier, I have a Natasha Denona playlist for the Lila palette. Every palette has its own playlist, so if you want to just look for a certain palette, it's easy to find. On my face right now, I have on the Fenty Brow MVP, which I think I might stop saying it because it's the only brow pencil I use ever. For primer, we have the Pat McGrath primer, and for foundation, we have the Pat McGrath foundation. This is shade M18. This was spitting. I did shake it really well before I used it, and I can hear it moving around. It's very liquidy, but it didn't seem to want to pump out right. And so I think I may have used at least a good 3 pumps, because it was pumping out and then it was like squirting and spitting, and I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know what was up with that. So that's excuse me, everything on my face right now. And we are going to finish the face later. I didn't want to do concealer and all of that because I don't remember if there's fallout with these shades. So this is Lila palette. Oh my gosh. And it's one of the soft palettes. It is really nice. And it does come with the sleeve, and this is perforated, so you can take this off, but I don't, because I want to know what the shadows are. What's interesting about this palette is there's only 4 girl, there's only 4 creamy mattes in here. This is a creamy matte, this one, and this one. Everything else is either a dual chrome, a metallic, or a shimmer. So if you really like to have a lot of mattes, you only got 1, 2, 3, 4 in this palette. That is it. But look how gorgeous this is. And when you look at this palette, it is set up easily to do looks. If you want a there not there look, use this column. This, you know, easy monochromatic look. This is definitely an easy monochromatic look. This is easily a monochromatic look. This is easily, you know, a soft smoky look. And you can even do by rows. And I think I might have did by columns and by rows before, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look at the playlist to see. But I do remember liking all the looks that I did. Some of the videos were busted because the lighting was off and it was kind of hazy. I don't know what was going on. Probably my lens was dirty. Duh, girl. We should have cleaned it. But anyway, and I did a couple collabs with this palette before too. But doing it by rows was really interesting, particularly this row, because you have this shade and then the purple and then like the reddish and the gold. So it was like really pretty. And some of the tones I was unsure about, like, is this going to make me look ashy? Was this one going to make me look ashy? But they kind of didn't. And so I'm excited to get back to it. And I have brushes pulled out. What we're going to do right now, I was going to do lower lash line, but because my lids are sticking, we're just going to go ahead and get started. What we're going to do this time, we're going to use these two columns right here. So we're going to do dark to light, outward to inward. And so we're going to do this one and then put this next to it, that next to it, this next to it. This maybe transition or under my brow bone or to buff out lower lash line. I think we're going to put this lower lash line. This we might use for inner corner. So we're going to see what's going to happen using these two columns. And the first shade is Lila. That is this shade right here. And we're going to put that on the outer corner. I am excited to use this palette again because I haven't used Lila in years, since I got rid of the one that finally turned on me. And so just to use a brand new one, there's something about a fresh palette. So I'm hoping it doesn't give me problems, because I forget what palette I used and I'm like, oh, it's a fresh one. Oh, you know what it was? It was Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction, and the deepest shade in that one went on patchy. And it was ironic because the initial one I had, that shade, excuse me, I was gonna say that shadow, I don't know what I'm saying. That shadow was not patchy, but in the new one that I purchased, it was patchy. So I'm like, what? And I know they make things in batches, and sometimes it's just a bad batch. But other people were saying that theirs was kind of patchy too. But I'm like, the first one I had, it wasn't patchy. So I really was not expecting that, and it kind of threw me off. So that is that shade. Yo, I love her formula. Even though this isn't the creamy matte or cream to powder, her shadows work for me. There are times I do have an issue with some of the darker red tones. In Sunset, there were two shadows in that one that I had a bad reaction to, and I think it was the amount of carmine that was in it. And when I had the Cranberry Quint, I had a reaction to a couple of those shades in there too. But for the most part, her larger palettes, I don't have a bad reaction to. So I was surprised I had that reaction to two of the shades in Sunset. And because those were the darker shades and the shades that I would want to use, I used what I could until I got fed up with it, I guess, because of my lid sensitivity. So it wasn't anything wrong with it. And I don't remember if I just decluttered it or if I gave it away. Yo, my cousin just called me. We haven't talked in years for no particular reason other than I'm just not a phone person. And he kind of just like roams around different places. But he called me earlier. It was like 11 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, even though I'm not turned on, I'm not trying to have a conversation right now. And he just called again. And now it's like 11:30 at night. So I'm just like, dude. And I'll say this because I know he doesn't watch my videos. I listened to his message. It was long and he sounded like he was inebriated. So I'm like, I'm glad I didn't answer the phone. Because I'm thinking I would not have been able to get off the phone. But I am going to call him tomorrow. But he was funny. He was like, where the F you at? He's like, this is your cousin so-and-so, your dad's brother. And he named him, you know, this is so-and-so's son. And I'm like, dude, I know who you are. I'm just like, what? I was like, we haven't been out of touch that long for me to not remember who you are. It was hilarious. And I should have saved the message just to play back, just to have a laugh one day. Because I'm just like, dude. But yeah, he sounded like he was drunk or something. Now we're going to go into Amethyst. I think before, I didn't know which was darker. Sometimes my perception of colors is a little, well, I'm not going to say off, but just different. But we're going to put this You know what it is, I think, because this is brighter. So we're going to take this one, which is Amethyst, and we're going to put that next to it. Look at this shade. This reminds me of something else I used recently. This color. And I can't think right now, and I don't remember right now what palette it was. You know what? It was Natasha Denona, the Retro Glam palette, because I put the deepest gray shade on, and then I put the second deepest gray shade next to it, and they look almost the same. But that's what this shade is looking like. Oh man, these shadows. I do believe this is back on her website, and when I purchased this one, the fresh one, was when there was like a bundle deal, and the bundle deal brung the 2 full-size palettes down to the price of like 1. And I'm just like, okay, I'm getting that. And I also purchased another Biba. And so that'll be a fresh one too that I am excited to dig into. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of videos with Biba for no particular reason. And I think just because it's not dark and smoky, and that's what I gravitate to. But it is like a really lovely neutral palette. And I do really like it. Look how y'all, oh my gosh. If you like purples, I'm hoping they have a good sale for like Black Friday, and usually they do have good sales, and sometimes stuff will pop up on a special offers page. But the last year or so, special offers page has been stuff like I don't want skincare, like I'm here for the makeup from Natasha Denona. But anyway, now we're going to take the shade above it, which is Viola. So we're going to take this one and put that next to here. This is so friggin' easy. This here is not rounded like how this side is rounded. So we're just going to actually just tap here. And I don't think I'm going to put anything under brow bone. Did we fix it? I think we fixed it. This is going to end up brow bone if I don't stop. So now we're going to take Viola, this shade right here, excuse me, and we're going to put that next to Amethyst. These shadows, and they just, you see this, like I'm tapping and lightly like pressing. Look at that, y'all. If you like purples, if you like color, because you see that these are bold. This is more bold than the first 2 shades we used. But look at this look. And these shadows are smooth. These are the metallics. Is it metallic? Yep. So these, actually all 4. I only use 3. Girl, can you count? Yeah, all 3 we used so far are metallics. And I know I've said before, you can do an all metallic look, just like some people do all matte looks. So try not to let that deter you, because there's only 4 creamy mattes in this palette. But look how that little bit of shine, like looking straight, this looks like a matte, but then when you turn, you see that shine, and then from that second shade, that purple. But look how these 2 even blend together. Look how these 2 blend together, like when you turn. This looks like a duochrome when you turn. So here you see, he is calling again. What? And so now I can't see me because I see the thing. But you see the purple here and then the reddish here. But then when you turn, it blends in. And I'm going to play this back and be like, I look so weird, like hunched down. I think he is drunk, because now it's like 11:35. So that's like 3 times in 30 minutes he called me. I know he don't think, like, I don't know. Maybe he thinks I'm in jail. Like, I don't know. But who keeps calling people like back to back like that? And he left a message. So I think he's drunk. Anyway, now we're going to come down to this shade down here. And he's a cousin on my dad's side, not that it matters. This is Livid, and this is a duochrome. So we're going to see what that's going to look like next to all of these shades. But I remember loving this palette before. You know what? It is like a brownish. That's this one. So we're going to see what that's going to look like right here. Okay. It just kind of blends in. So we're going to bring it. We're going to leave a little bit of space for tear duct, because we're going to put that bright shade there, just so we can use like both of these 2 columns. So for the next couple looks, you kind of know what we're going to do already. I remember the look that I did with this column. This was really cute, very light, very ethereal. But this was a really cute column to do a look with. So if you're wanting light and easy, this is just a fun palette because it's so easy to use. But you do need to like color. You need to like bold colors because you're not just going to get just, he left another message. Oh my goodness. For this palette, and I remember saying before when I talked about it years ago, for this palette you do, if you match your clothes to your eyeshadow, this is a palette that you can't just get dressed, well you could, but if you like to match, this is not a palette you get dressed for work and you just sit here and be like, oh, I'm gonna use that because of these tones on this side right here. This column and these you can get away with, but like these right here, and this one is smoky as you see on the outer corner. So this is not a palette that I think most people would just pick up on a whim. They would think about, I'm not wearing any of those tones in my clothes. I have on a blue shirt, so like that ain't gonna work. Or I have on a green shirt, that's not gonna work. So I think that might be one of the downsides to this palette. But if you do like color and you wear mostly grays or black clothes, I think you would really like this one. And now we're gonna take this shade right here, and that one is Juno, and it says this is satin. Well, it says S, so I don't know if it's satin or sparkle shimmer, I don't know. But we're going to take this brush and we're going to tap that in. I am just really excited to be using this again. I'm going to do pointy side down, and I'm going to just press it right here. So we're just putting just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. And I know tiny isn't spelled that way or pronounced that way, but I speak Ebonics and I speak Troll, so we're saying tiniest bit here today, right now. You know what? That's like the perfect amount of brightness. I like this. Oh my gosh. This will look nice too for brow bone. Speaking of which, I'm going to take a smaller brush than the one that I had out. And actually, I'm going to use this brush. And we're just going to go in small circular motions. I kind of do want to put that gray creamy matte up here, but I don't know what it's going to do to the look. And so we're going to find out though. I'm liking this the way it is. I just want to blend this more. This top edge. This. Oh my gosh. If you have Lila or if you've had it before, let me know your thoughts on it. If you haven't had it and you're looking at the palette and you're looking at the look, how easily we did this look, and you're kind of like, let me know. The pans do come out. This is soft, even squeezing it. So what you can do is if you want to pop one out, just press down on it, or press down on it with maybe like a pair of tweezers, and you can just pop the shadow out. And so even though it's not the hard casing, and it's not magnetic, and there's no holes on the back, you can still pop these out because this is soft. And I have taken shadows out before, and I would show you, but it would take a little bit of time. So, but yeah, you can move these around without damaging the shadows, which is awesome. So I want to kind of leave this like that, but I am kind of curious to put this under brow bone. So let's take a thin brush. I had this brush, but that's way too fluffy for that because we're dealing with this small space. And actually I'm going to use, this brush is kind of fluffy. It's a Makeup Geek brush. And this shadow right here is called Per Se. And this is a creamy matte. I gotta do lower lash line too. I just remembered. So this is what this looks like on a brush. For me, this palette does show up through the pan. I am going very lightly because I don't want this to come out dark. Ooh, I am like barely touching my skin. So this is skin, but with the eyeshadow primer, and this is Per Se. So you see it is true to pan. That's this shade right here. So I don't want to do a lot. It does help with blending. But I know I need to be careful because I don't want it to be like super gray And it doesn't make me look dusty or ashy. So I'm just very lightly. That is it. We're going to take this brush we used earlier. And we just want to do some blending here. It feels really good, excuse me for smacking, being back to doing videos every day. I don't know when you're going to see this. I'm trying to bank some because I'll be going away soon for a long weekend in Texas. And I don't know, I'm not taking my tripod, and I need to look and see like what they charge for luggage. If they charge for check-in, I'm not checking in a bag. Some airlines now, they charge for a carry-on. You get your personal bag free, but then you got to pay for a carry-on. So if it's only just a personal bag for free, I'm gonna just take my large laptop bag because that's considered a personal bag, and I'll just stuff everything in there. Like I don't want to pay for extra stuff at all. We're gonna take NYX Retractable Eyeliner, and this shade is in gray. And we're going to put this on lower lash line. So I'm just saying that to say I know I'm not going to take my tripod. I'm not sure what the lighting is going to be like. So I'm just trying to get some videos done so I can have stuff airing while I'm away in case I don't do videos. I don't even know if I'm going to pack makeup. I need to see how much, well, what's free as far as luggage. Because if they say a personal bag and a carry-on, I'll take a laptop bag and my backpack, which means I'll be able to take more stuff. I don't like checking in bags. I really don't. I want my stuff with me. When it's time to get off the plane, I have my bags with me. I don't have to go to baggage area if there's a layover. And I do think there's a layover both ways. I don't have to worry about, is my bag going to come up missing? Is it going to, you know, show up at the airport, my final destination, where I'm going? And so I just don't want to deal with that. Just let me carry my stuff. And I'm not a heavy packer anyway. Actually, I tend to take more when I'm driving somewhere versus, I like how this looks just how it is. Even when I'm driving, sometimes I do tend to take more, but then sometimes it's like, nope. So we're going to take this brush and we're going to go back into that outer corner shade, which is Layla. And we're going to put this on our lower lash line. I'm wondering now if I want to take this dual chrome. We're going to take the dual chrome and see what that looks like under there on top of the gray. And again, there's Livid. This is the shade that is kind of like right there. So we're going to put this under here. And had I intended to put Livid under here, I think I would have used a different gel liner just to see if that brings out a shift. You can see the dual chrome because here I'm seeing purple, but when you turn, it's like a different shade of purple. Or it's kind of burgundy-ish, like right here. And then right here, it's like a purple. That's pretty. I did decide already to just use a black eyeliner because I think it might be done. I think I'm gonna do a declutter soon, and so stuff that I really feel like is on its way out, not wanting to wait until I have a bad reaction to it. And so I am going to get rid of some things, and I think I'm gonna do it in a live. That's what I'm thinking. One of my member requests was to do a live once a month. And so I'm always like, ooh, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? And so I'm looking on my face now. I never took the the plastic off of there. Do I have fallout? Let me take the plastic off of this mirror. Ah, awesome. I do have some fallout. What is this thing right here? So we're going to, yeah, I do have some here from that outer corner shade, just right here. Not a lot, not much. So what we're going to do, I kind of just want to do more foundation because sometimes I don't like how this foundation looks under my eyes, and then sometimes, like now, I think it actually looks okay. So we're going to just use more of the foundation. And I don't know why I thought, you know what, I was thinking this was Estee Lauder because the container is almost the same. This is the Estee Lauder. Look at this. But Estee Lauder says Estee Lauder. Pat McGrath has the sticker on it. So I was just kind of like thrown off for a second. So we're just going to do one pump. And we're going to put that under our eyes using the same brush that we used earlier. And we're just going to put this. I really like this foundation. I know some people didn't like it because it is so thin. And even though the Estee Lauder is full coverage and this is very sheer, like I like it equally. And the Fenty that I love, that's a soft matte. And so even though each one is a completely different formula, I love all three of them. I'm gonna put more around my nose. I was thinking earlier to put concealer here because this has been dry. Yeah, I worked at the Playhouse last night and my skin was not happy. Look at this. Yeah, so we're not even gonna do concealer. Usually with the Pat McGrath foundation, I use the Estee Lauder concealer because the Pat McGrath concealer was not the right shade for me. And I think I tried 2 different shades, and after that, I'm like, I'm not trying anymore. And then the Estee Lauder one works fine with it. So this is what we got. So I'm just doing this so just because it doesn't run off of the palette, because I tend to just put it on the case that has my brushes. And so it just kind of hangs until I take it into the kitchen and wash everything. So that is that. So we're going to now take the Fashion Fair powder. This was predetermined because this will help dry down the face. Thank you for being here. The shade I wear is Truly Tawny, which for me is translucent. Like, look at this. It does not change what the foundation looks like. It doesn't change when I wear concealer what the concealer looks like. It does mattify, but it doesn't, you know, suck the life out of my face, I don't think. And it just goes on. Even tapping it, it like blends in. I noticed with the Haus Labs powder, sometimes when I tap it, it just catches onto the moisture on my face from the concealer or the primer. This doesn't seem to do that. And that powder is finely milled too, and so is the Fashion Fair, but it just doesn't catch. And even doing this, it blends it out. I don't necessarily have to go back and swirl to get it blended everywhere. So I'm just making sure everything is dry, and it is. We're going to be using Pat McGrath bronzers. I feel like I haven't used the Pat McGrath in a while, and I really feel like I haven't because I was using the Hourglass. This is Bronze Divinity. Where is it? That's Bronze Divinity that I traded with a friend of mine. I forget what the reasons were. I don't know if this was the same as another one that she had purchased. And one of the ones I had, I was just kind of like, because I do want a bronzer to bronze. You know what I mean? And so we traded, which was really cool because I do really like this one, and she likes the one that she received from me in the trade. And so it worked out for both of us, and we didn't have to deal with, you know, what to do with it, how, you know, and trying to get rid of but don't get rid of stuff kind of thing. So we're going to use that same brush. No, we're not. We're going to take a clean one, and this is Desert Glow. So this is another Pat McGrath bronzer. I was going to say bronzer. And we're going to, even though we're using a bronzer brush, we're going to just bring it up a little bit higher. Ooh, ooh, okay. That blended out, because at first, did y'all see that line? It startled me. So we're just bringing it up a little higher to use it as a blush. And I should have used a smaller brush, but this one works out. So this is Bronze Divinity. This is Desert Glow, which was the only bronzer that had a glow to it or a sheen to it. So we're going to use that. And I think this is my first time using these two this way, but that is all right. Now we're going to take a highlighter brush, my only Pat McGrath highlighter. And this is from whatever that is. I want to say Bridgerton, but this is Venusian Nude. I like this, but then I don't like it. I like it because I like the look of it, but I don't like how shimmery it is. And so if you like a shimmery highlighter, you will like this. I tend to more so like a Lit From Within glow. And I don't know, maybe if I get a different Pat McGrath highlighter, I'll let this one go. I'm not sure, because I use it like I'm using it now when I'm doing a Pat McGrath cheek situation, but it's not something that I'm like, ooh, yeah, I want to use that. So part of me is ready to declutter it. It might be in my Macari store because I'm indifferent about it, and because it's so shiny, which it is very pretty. It is a gorgeous highlighter, and it does work well with the other products. And so that is that. For lips, what I need to do, Oh, I need to do lips, eyeliner for upper lash line, and mascara. I am just like all over the place. We're going to use this. This is the Lancome Cils Booster mascara base, and I keep thinking it's done, but sometimes it comes out fine, and then sometimes it seems like it doesn't want to come out. But I'm doing this quickly so we can just keep it moving. I'm trying to think of what video I was going to do tomorrow. I don't know if it was Biba or something else, but we will circle back to Lila for sure. I did pull this out to use. This is Dior, and it is the blue one, number 288. I don't even really know if it shows up blue. Oh, I forgot to put my eyeliner on my upper lash line. I usually do that before mascara, because if the mascara does lengthen my lashes, it can be hard for me to, not hard, but challenging to get the liner on my upper lash line, trying to maneuver behind the mascara on my lashes. So maybe we just won't do eyeliner on upper lash line. I am just so out of it, because I saw me getting ready to do the lips, and then I'm like, oh wait, I need to do the mascara and the liner. I'm wondering too, I do think my cousin was drunk. Who calls people 3 times in 30 minutes and it's like after 11 o'clock at night and left 2 messages? So again, I am glad I didn't answer the phone, because then I probably wouldn't be able to get off the phone. But I'm gonna call him tomorrow at a reasonable hour and we'll just chit chat. But he was funny. His message, he was like, are you over in Africa? Where the F you at? Let us know where you at. You need anything? You all right? If you're in Africa, let me know. I want to come visit. Y'all, he was... And he's always been a funny dude like that. But I'm just like, yo, I think it's 11:30 at night. Even though for me, this is like 10 a.m. in the morning for most folks, because I am nocturnal. But I was just like, yo, I pulled this out to use. Auburn Prestige number 98 Sephora collection. I do want to do liner upper lash line, but then I'm not going to do it, because we're just going to keep on moving. So we're going to put this on. I think I wanted to put liner on my inner rooms, and then I forgot. But this is just a really easy, simple look. Everything just works really well. I am really excited to go back in time, even though it's a new, fresh Lila palette. I'm talking, and I am just like messing up this lipstick application. And you know, a sensible person, excuse me, number one, would slow down and not stammer. But also, they would edit this part out so that they can get the lippy on without it being a mess. But you know what? It looks okay. So I'm just getting some from the edge. I'm not putting it all the way back in. And we're going to do that. This is so crooked. But you know what? My lips are naturally crooked. There's a light patch like right here. So we are dipping further in. We're just trying to get a consistent color here. And I think we got it. And if we didn't, we're going to pretend we did. I'm going to use the tip and just do along my lip line to try to get it a little more even. And the thing is because my lip line is not even, when I go along the lip line, it's not going to be even. I like this look. I want something else for a blush. Is this eye tearing? And I thought to do this earlier, and then I thought, you know what? No, but we're going to take, because I'm looking at all the purple, and I knew it was going to be purple, and y'all know I don't like to do the matchy, but we're looking at my Haus Labs blushes. Ooh, Acai Sky. Is that going to be too much? Is that going to be too much? That might be too much. We're going to use this brush that I use for setting powder. I feel like this eye is wet under here. And we're going to... I remember... I remember not knowing how this would look on me, but I was curious because look how deep this looks. but the stuff just blends out. I'm glad we did this because, oh, this is like catching on something. But look how that blends out though. There's like a line right there. Why did that do that? Like this side didn't. But they just blend out so nice. And I was glad that I got it. And it is buildable, so I have to not build too much. I don't like this line right here. This line right there. And I know it's something with that that highlighter we use. But I do like this better, because it does bring color to the face, where it's just using those two. I could have used Paradise Venus, right? But no, I wanted to use a Haus Labs. I just like the formula. I like Pat McGrath's blush formula too. I think that kind of blended out. Let me take that highlighter brush, and we're just going to just go in small circular motions, because I'm not liking this line that's right here. Right here I don't see it, but when I do this way, like I do see a line. This side doesn't seem to have it. So let me go back with this brush. It's like right here. I don't bring blush here because when this is darker, it makes my under eye look funky. And I also don't take highlighter that far. And I know some people drape their blush, but for my face shape, I don't like how that looks on me. I like my blush like right here, like where I put it. And sometimes not even this far in, because then it just highlights how puffy my face is. Yeah, this, I think that might have worked right here. What I should have did, I'm going to take a clean brush and we're just going to take some finishing powder. You know what I should do? I should use, we're going to take a little bit dim light from Hourglass, because that does help everything just smooth out. So this is still the Fashion Fair, so we're just going to just put that there just to get rid of that. And we're doing this side only to keep it even with applying more product on this side, because this was the side I didn't like, and I think that did fix it. Yes, when in doubt, use your translucent powder or powder that's translucent on you to help blend out your blush, bronzer, highlighter, whatever it is you're not really digging. This is it for this look. Let me know what you think. You have to like color for this palette, and I think a lot of people didn't buy it because it's not what people would call an everyday palette, meaning it's not just your basic neutrals. You do have pops of actual bright colors, and you see how they show up. So this was the outer corner, this was inside, this shade here. This shade is this reddish tone. Livid is kind of like right here, and this shade here, that to me that added just the perfect amount of lightness without going too much. And this shade is under my brow bone. So we did use 6 shades. We used these 2 columns. Also, we put this, which is the dual chrome, over a gray eyeliner on lower lash line. I think it goes well with the cheek. I think it goes well with the lip. This mascara, I love the Diorshow mascara, but it's not blue. Like, it doesn't show up blue. And even when I'm looking at it like close up, it's not blue on me. So I tried it. I got it because I wanted to see if it was going to be blue, and I will use it because it doubles as a black because it doesn't look blue. But anyway, this is the look that we have. Let me know what you think about this look. Let me know what you think of Lila, if you've had it before, if you're thinking during the sale, you know, to pick it up, a new one, a fresh one. This is a beautiful palette. It is beautiful. And when in doubt, just use this column and these 2 and pop the purple or this shade here, like lower lash line. This is a nice shade for transition depending on your complexion. And for me, you know, I don't even do traditional transition or crease shades. And so you can get depth out of here. And even this shade right here, that's a dark shade. It's a metallic. But you see how it still adds depth to the look without being overly shiny. So that can be another option as well. I am just really excited about it. And I was looking at this one because looking here out of the corner of my eye, this looks reddish. But looking where you are, it looks like a gray, like a grayish green. So this is another dual chrome. I'm looking like, what am I seeing that I'm not seeing out the corner of my eye? But this is a fun palette. It's a nice palette. I don't think this one is a dual chrome. Is it? No, this is a metallic. But I'm looking at it and it's looking different. Like when this looks one color and then this looks something else. But no, this is just a metallic. But this is a fun palette, a beautiful palette. Everything went on super easy. Nothing was patchy. Everything blended in so well, picked up well. So I am a Natasha Denona fan, and I'm glad to be digging back into Lila. We will circle back to it, but we're going to jump into Biba, do some looks with that, and we may just go back and forth. Maybe that'll be my next series. Not necessarily maybe a month of Natasha Denona, but definitely digging back into some of the older palettes because they're not new anymore. One thing about my channel, if you're new here, I use what I have and I don't have a large collection. And so if you're wanting to see stuff that was hyped up a year ago, this is where you come. Because you're going to see me using it, and it may reignite your love for whatever that was, or even for the color story. So if you don't have Lila and you like purples and you like these tones, see if you have these tones in your collection and you can do this look. So it does not have to be this palette. That'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. I am super excited for this look. Everything I do believe came together. And let me know your thoughts. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.